Do you remember our story about Moses on the big mountain? Moses climbed way up high to talk with God. God gave Moses special stone tablets with important rules written on them, rules to help people live happily together. The people waited and waited at the bottom of the mountain for Moses to come back. They had been waiting for so many days, and Moses seemed to be gone for such a long time. Down at the bottom of Mount Sinai, all of God's people were living in their tents like one big camping family. There were mommies and daddies, grandmas and grandpas, and lots of children playing together. Every morning, they would look up at the mountain and say, "When will Moses come back?" The mountain looked so tall and far away, with clouds covering the top where Moses was talking with God. Aaron was taking care of everyone while Moses was gone. Aaron was Moses' brother, and he loved God too. In the mornings, Aaron would help everyone pray together and remind them of God's goodness. The children would play with their toy animals, and the grown-ups would take care of their sheep and goats. Everything seemed peaceful and good, but as more and more days passed, some of the people began to worry. "Where is Moses?" they whispered to each other. "What if he never comes back?" Some people started to feel scared and lonely. They forgot how God had taken such good care of them, bringing them through the Red Sea, giving them food from heaven, and protecting them every single day. A group of worried people came to Aaron and said, "We don't know what happened to Moses. We want to make something we can see and touch to help us feel better. Please make us a God we can see with our eyes." Aaron felt confused and didn't know what to do. He wanted to help the people feel better, but he knew this wasn't what God wanted. The people were struggling because they couldn't see God with their eyes, and Moses had been gone for so long. When we can't see someone we love, sometimes we feel scared and forget that they still love us and are taking care of us. The people had forgotten all the wonderful things God had done for them. They wanted something shiny and pretty that they could touch and see, instead of trusting in God who was always there even when they couldn't see him. Aaron felt sad and confused because he wanted to make the people happy, but he also knew that God was the only one they should worship. High up on the mountain, God saw everything that was happening. God's heart felt sad, but he still loved his people very much. God told Moses, "Moses, you need to go down quickly. The people have forgotten me and made a golden calf to worship instead." Moses hurried down the mountain, carrying the special stone tablets that God had given him. Even though Moses felt disappointed, he still loved the people and wanted to help them remember God's love. As Moses came down the mountain, God's presence came with him, ready to help and forgive. When Moses saw the people dancing around the golden calf they had made, his heart broke. He was so sad that he dropped the stone tablets, and they broke into pieces on the ground. Moses felt like crying because the people he loved so much had forgotten about God's goodness. Moses had to make the golden calf go away because it wasn't helping the people at all. It was making them forget about God's love. Some of the people felt ashamed when they saw Moses, and they wondered if God would still love them after what they had done. But Moses loved the people too much to give up on them. He climbed back up the mountain to talk to God. Please forgive your people, Moses prayed. They made a mistake, but they are still your children, and you love them so much. Moses talked to God for a long time, asking God to give the people another chance. God's heart was full of love and forgiveness. Yes, Moses, God said gently, I will make new stone tablets for my people. I will give them a fresh start because I love them with a love that never ends. God made everything new again, new tablets with the same loving rules and a new promise to always take care of his people. When Moses came back down with the new stone tablets, his face was glowing with God's love. The people could see that God had forgiven them and still wanted to be their loving Father. They gathered around Moses with happy tears in their eyes, so grateful that God's love was bigger than their mistakes. The children clapped their hands, the mommies and daddies hugged each other, and everyone sang songs of joy. God's love had made everything right again, and the people felt safe and loved once more. They promised to remember that God was always with them, even when they couldn't see him. Tonight, remember that God's love is always bigger than any mistake we make. Even when we forget about him, he never forgets about us. God loves you so much that he always gives fresh starts and new beginnings, just like he did for his people long ago. Close your sleepy eyes now, little one. Let God's gentle love wrap around you like a warm blanket. Sweet dreams, and remember that God is watching over you all through the night. Good night, precious child. Sleep peacefully in God's loving arms.